I the a-hole for calling my sister's wedding a knockoff of my own? I have always been the favorite among my siblings. As the baby of the family and the only boy, I got doted on a little extra. This extra doting increased when I expressed an interest in dance and actually discovered a talent for it. This makes sense in my mind. My schedule required more time and money devoted to it since I now had to be taken to classes and showcases, needed the proper attire, etc. There were a few years of tension between my sisters and I, especially during our teen years, where it seemed like they blamed me for what was going on or expected me to apologize for our parents' choices, something I adamantly refused to do. Tension seemed to ease some when we went our separate ways. My sisters stuck around in our hometown to get jobs while I moved to a city about an hour away for college. I met my now husband there, and despite what my parents tried to talk us into, we got married in a tiny ceremony at the local courthouse where only immediate family was present. We had a party with our close friends and family later to celebrate, but the ceremony itself was just like we wanted, a small part of an intimate and peaceful day focused on my partner and I. My oldest sister got engaged a couple months ago, and my parents jumped at the chance to start planning an over-the-top wedding. I've been around for some of it, and a lot of what is being offered to the new happy couple is what was suggested to my husband and I when they were trying to convince us to have a big wedding. This didn't bother me at all. In fact, I was happy my sister was getting what seemed like the wedding of her dreams. Unfortunately, it seems she's still holding a grudge over what happened when we were kids and has made multiple jokes about how she's the favorite now, and that this is payback for all the things she missed out on when I was being chauffeured to dance practice. I took the first few in stride, but it's getting tired now that it's been repeated so many times. I recently told her the jokes were getting old, but that still didn't stop her. I finally had enough last night, and after a few drinks at a little weekend family get-together, I told her that her wedding was essentially a knockoff of mine, and that I doubted our parents would be putting this much effort in had I gone through with the extravagant plans they had wanted me to a few years ago. She left the room in tears, and I've gotten mixed reactions from family over what I said. Am I the a-hole? ETA, I have no interest in special attention from my parents and moved on from the feud with my sisters years ago, as I thought they had as well. I live a good distance from them all with a life of my own, and can only make it back to visit a few times a year. This doesn't stem from me craving attention. I'm glad my sister is getting all of it, as my parents have a tend to hover even all these years later. My complaint is in the repeated jokes despite my request that they stop. The top comment is: Info, have you ever talked to your sisters and tried to resolve the hurt feelings from when you were kids? You say you moved on from the feud by discussing it with them and agreeing to bury the hatchet, or by you simply pretending it never happened and deciding it should no longer affect anybody? The second comment is: Yes, you are the a-hole. Her wedding isn't a knockoff of your wedding considering you got married at a courthouse. The third comment is: Info, did your sisters choose to work and not go to college, or they were not presented with the choice and you were the only one allowed to go to college?